Frogs. Now, think about it. How many times have you seen a frog depicted in media? Cool, now that we're done thinking, you probably thought, hey, I've seen some frogs in media, and sure, we all have. We know Kermit, there's the infamous Wollywog from Pikmin, all sorts of numbers of manners of frogs, and games about frogs, and it seems like the world in the last couple years has gone frog crazy. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about why maybe frogs being cute is a bit of a problem. So, I mentioned Kermit earlier. You know Kermit the Frog, everyone does. And Kermit actually starts the mark of a stunning trend. Ever since Kermit, it seems like frogs and frog-like creatures have gone from being swampy, disgusting, unsightly things to a more rounded, amorphous, artist's rendition of what a frog might seem like based on description. Now, it seems like artists nowadays, and I'm using that term very generally, take a frog and they condense it. They take every quality of a frog that makes it unique, its warts, its blemishes, its unsightly nature, its tendency to hide in mud, for example, and they hide that. And suddenly, frogs are now things that run amongst the flowers and frolic and love life for all of its shining beauties, and no. This is not the frog I love. These are not the frogs I grew up with. Kermit, he is the turning point in this whole thing. If it wasn't for Kermit, we wouldn't have these frog games coming out in droves. We wouldn't have cute cottagecore frog-themed attire. We wouldn't have frog boots, frog jackets, frog everything. It seems like you can't walk one friggin' step these days without someone saying frog this, frog that, frog you. What the frog is up, my frogger? And that just leads to the problem. And my problem with all this frog nonsense and chicanery is that it's causing people to depersonalize. They don't think, hey, I'm a cool person. They think, oh, aren't I a frog-cored, beeble-pilled cottage bitch? Now, of course I'm joking, and I don't espouse myself as perfect in any way. But labeling yourselves with these kind of labels, frogging yourself with these kind of frogs, and frogging your whole life up, frogging, dude, frog me in the ass. Anyway, causes you to depersonalize. And maybe I already mentioned that before, but frankly, I don't edit these videos. No one's gonna watch this. No one's gonna say, oh, I called someone a cottage bitch. No one's gonna bring that up. And if you do, frog you! And the frog you wrote in on. But yes, it causes one to depersonalize. And with West's obsession with media of all kinds, with the spread of information, frogging yourself like this can cause a dangerous mindset wherein you are afraid of your own anatomy, your own general personification. And while that leads into sort of a bigger topic, I think it's important that people reflect on their blemishes. It's important that people reflect on what makes them ugly rather than what makes them frogging perfect. Because nobody's nerfed and frogged. You know, while frogs are one of God's greatest creations, they're not perfect either. They are very unsightly. If you say a frog is cute, you're lying to yourself. I don't care who the fuck you are, who the frog you are, but a frog is not cute. And people trying to make Tumblr core frog artist renditions, that is not my jam. I want a frog to be warty, webbed, and frogging. Wet! What made me upset about this originally is seeing these frog bucket hats. Okay, I'm gonna put one on screen right now. I say the words frog bucket hat, you know what I'm talking about. I don't gonna fuck around, beat around the frog and bush. You guys know what I mean when I say frog bucket hat, okay? Now, you take one component of this, the frog, okay? But I have this image on screen, right? So, it looks cute, the hat. I haven't seen the picture yet, but we're gonna assume this frog bucket hat is cute. You take the first component, the frog, again, I bear to repeat myself, but frogs are not supposed to be cute, and this hat is cute. Already, we're fucking this up, and then you take the second component, the bucket hat component, and the whole thing just goes tits up. Sorry, frogs up, but the analogy doesn't really make sense. If I gotta watch one more frogging TikTok about a frog obsession capturing frogs in their natural habitat. Side note, that fucking video of the guy rehousing the frogs, where he goes to a bog and like steals like 1,000,000 tadpole eggs, like he just like scoops them all into a big bucket and then releases them in his neighborhood. That guy is a fucking serial killer, man. He has the psychology of a fucking gnat. That guy is dumber than bricks themselves. Literally, the grains of fucking sand that make up a brick have more condensed knowledge than this guy trying to rehome thousands of fucking frogs. Are you kidding me? Anyway, if you haven't seen the video, I implore you to check it out. Just search out rehoming frogs. I'm sure it'll show up. This guy is a fucking dickweed. Anyway, I forget what I was talking about. Again, the thesis of this video isn't TikTok. It isn't necessarily frog trends. I just don't think that a frog should be cute. And while you're entitled to your opinion about whether or not a frog is cute or not, at the end of the day, they are warty, they're webbed, they're wet, they're weird. But just don't make frogs your whole fucking personality. Don't say, hey, I'm Mr. Frog. Look at me, I'm frogging it up. Frog time. Care for a frog or two? Hey, frogged that one up, didn't I? Oh, jeez. Hey, but I got back on the frogging wagon and look at me now. I'm frogged up times 10. I'm Mr. fucking Frog. Hey, look at me, I'm Mr. Frog. Alright, guys? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little video, and while I did mince words on the Kermit thing, I think it's important that we have more Wollywog-like frog creatures and less frogging Kermits.